The skill that hospitals pay you $40 an hour for is worth $120 an hour in this hidden healthcare sector. No coding required. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Your clinical expertise, that deep understanding of healthcare workflows, patient needs, and clinical decision making, is literally worth 3 times more outside of traditional healthcare settings. But hospitals won't tell you that. And tech companies desperately need people like you, even if you've never written a line of code in your life. Let me show you exactly what I mean. If you're watching this, chances are you love healthcare, but maybe not the way you're currently working in it. Maybe you're tired of missing family events because of inflexible schedules. Maybe you're exhausted from the physical demands of bedside care. Or maybe you feel like you're hitting a ceiling in your career with no clear path forward. I've been there. Many of us have. After 5 years in direct patient care, I was burning out fast. What I didn't realize then was that my clinical knowledge, the very thing I'd spent years developing, was actually my ticket to a whole new world of opportunities. Here's what nobody tells you about healthcare careers. The skills you use every day at the bedside are in desperate demand in the digital health industry. Companies are pouring billions into healthcare technology, but there's a massive problem they're facing. Most tech experts have never worked a day in actual healthcare. They're building solutions without understanding the real challenges that you face every day. That's where you become incredibly valuable. Your clinical experience is the missing piece that helps these companies build products that actually work in the real world, and they're willing to pay premium rates for it. Let me break down what digital health actually means, because it's not just one thing. It includes telehealth platforms connecting patients with providers, health analytics systems that improve clinical decision making, remote monitoring tools that track patient conditions outside of the hospital, electronic health records that hopefully make documentation easier, and dozens of other technologies changing how healthcare is delivered. Behind every successful digital health product is someone who understands both the technology and the clinical reality. That's the sweet spot where your value skyrockets. Here are just some of the roles clinicians are moving into: clinical consultant implementation specialist, project manager, clinical consultant, implementation specialist, project manager, clinical solutions architect, training specialist, user experience researcher. And the best part? Most of these roles don't require you to write a single line of code. Let me share some real examples of people who've made this transition. Sarah, not her real name, was an ICU nurse for 12 years. She was exhausted by night shifts and emotional burnout. Today, she works as a clinical consultant for a health tech company, developing tools that help nurses like her former colleagues. She's not only doubled her salary, but also reclaimed control of her schedule and rediscovered her passion for healthcare, just from a different angle. Chris was a pharmacist who transitioned to a health analytics role. He saw his salary increase by 35% in the first year. In his clinical role, he'd reached the top of what he could earn unless he opened his own pharmacy. In digital health, there's almost no limit to how far you can advance if you're willing to keep learning. These aren't exceptional cases. This is happening every day as more clinicians discover these opportunities. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I don't have any tech experience. The truth is, you don't need a tech background to succeed in digital health. Linda, a respiratory therapist with zero tech background, leveraged her clinical experience to become an implementation specialist for clinical documentation. She understands the clinical workflows and patient experiences that technologists don't see. That knowledge is incredibly valuable, and she picked up the technical skills she needed on the job. But what about job security? Traditional healthcare might seem secure, but the digital health sector is growing rapidly. While hospital budgets face constant pressure, investment in healthcare technology continues to increase year after year. But won't I have to start at the bottom again? Absolutely not. Your clinical experience gives you a massive head start. You're not starting from zero. You're building on existing experience and adding new skills that complement what you already know. The biggest regret I hear from colleagues who've made this switch isn't about the challenges of changing careers. It's that they wish they had done it sooner. So how do you make this transition happen? First, identify your transferable skills. As a clinician, you already have project management experience, clinical experience, communication skills, problem-solving abilities, and experience working in complex systems. Second, target your learning to fill specific knowledge gaps. You don't need to become a tech expert overnight, but understanding the basics of how technology is developed and implemented can help. Third, Connect with others who've made this transition. Networking is crucial in digital health. Fourth, position yourself as a bridge between clinical and technical worlds. This is your unique value proposition. And finally, start exploring opportunities, even before you feel 100% ready. Many people make this transition gradually, starting with something on the side while maintaining their clinical roles. Let's bring this back to where we started. Your clinical skills are worth far more than what traditional healthcare settings are paying you. But it's not about the money. It's about finding a way to stay in healthcare, to keep making an impact on patients and the system without sacrificing your well-being, your family time, or your career growth. Digital health offers that opportunity. It lets you leverage your existing knowledge while opening doors to new challenges, better compensation, and often a better quality of life. I've helped many doctors, nurses, therapists, and other clinicians make this transition. And I can tell you that while the path isn't always straight or simple, those who've made the journey consistently report it was worth the effort. If you're feeling stuck, burnt out, or simply curious about what else is possible with your clinical background, know that you have options. Your experience isn't just valuable, it's invaluable in the right context. The skills you already have could be the foundation for the next phase of your career, a phase where you're valued, well compensated, and able to make an impact on healthcare in ways you might not have imagined. If you're ready to explore how your clinical expertise can translate to digital health, I have a free guide that walks you through the exact steps to make this transition. Click the link in the description to download The Clinician's Roadmap to Digital Health Careers. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content on healthcare career transitions. Drop a comment with your biggest question about moving into digital health, and I'll personally respond. Remember, your clinical skills are worth more than you think. Sometimes all it takes is seeing them in a new light.